All right, let's get into it. We're going to break down one of the most massive self-help phenomenons of the last few decades, the secret. This whole thing, the book and the film, made this unbelievably huge promise that there's a hidden principle, something the greatest minds in history knew that holds the key to getting, well, pretty much anything you could ever want. So today we're going to unpack exactly what that principle is and how, according to its followers, it actually works.
It kicks off with this incredibly bold claim from Dr. Joe Vitale, one of the teachers in the book. No ifs, ands, or buts. Anything you want. It's a heck of a hook, right? It immediately makes you lean in and go, okay, how?
And it doesn't stop there. Another teacher, John Assaraf, just doubles down on it. He says the size of your dream just doesn't matter. You want a mansion, $1 million, a totally new life? According to The Secret, it's all possible. So what on earth is this secret?
Well, the way the book frames it, this isn't some new age fad. Nope, this is the great secret of life, a timeless, universal law that geniuses like Einstein, Carnegie, and Edison supposedly understood and used to achieve all their incredible success.
And there it is, the big reveal. The entire philosophy, the whole shebang, boils down to these 4 words: the law of attraction. This is the engine. This is the concept that everything else we're going to talk about is built on.
So what is the law of attraction? How does it supposedly work? Let's get into the mechanics of it. How the book claims that what happens inside your head literally creates the world you experience outside of it.
At its very core, the idea is simple: like attracts like. The book describes your thoughts as if they're broadcasting a frequency, like a radio station. If you're constantly broadcasting thoughts of joy, wealth, and success, the universe, which is kind of like this giant cosmic radio, tunes into that frequency and sends more joyful, wealthy, and successful experiences right back to you.
Now, this is a really, really crucial part of the teaching. The book argues that the law of attraction just doesn't compute negatives. It doesn't hear don't or not. So, as you see here, if you're thinking, I don't want to be delayed, the universe just latches onto the main subject. Delayed. It's a huge distinction. The idea is you have to focus only on what you do want, not on what you don't.
Now, if you're thinking this all sounds a bit hard to swallow, the book offers this metaphor from Bob Proctor. Think about it. You don't need to understand the physics of electricity to flip a switch and turn on a light, right? He argues that the law of attraction is the same kind of deal. It's a fundamental force of nature that's always working, whether you completely grasp the mechanics of it or not.
Okay, so if we go with this idea that the law exists, how do you actually use it on purpose? Well, The Secret lays out a very clear 3-step method. It calls the creative process. And it all starts with the very first step: ask.
And here's the simple roadmap. Ask, believe, and receive. It looks easy enough, but the book really stresses that you can't skip any of these. Each step is absolutely essential. So let's dig into that first one: how you're supposed to properly ask the universe for what you want. To make this ask step really click, the book uses a story we all know and love: Aladdin and his lamp. And this isn't just a cute little fairy tale reference. It's presented as the perfect metaphor for how you're meant to interact with the universe.
So, let's break this down. In this metaphor, you are Aladdin. The universe, or the law of attraction, is the all-powerful genie. And the genie's only job, its only line, is your wish is my command. It never questions you, it never judges what you ask for, it just gets to work making it happen. That's the idea.
All right, let's move on to the next 2 steps, which are really tied together. See, asking is just step 1. According to The Secret, the real heavy lifting happens in your mind, in your emotions, through believing you'll get it and then being open enough to actually receive it.
And this quote from Lisa Nichols just nails the heart of the believe step. This isn't about just kind of hoping or wishing. It's about generating the actual feeling of having it right now. You have to have this total, unwavering faith that what you asked for is a done deal, even when you can't see any proof of it in your reality just yet.
So to make this a little more concrete, let's look at one of the most famous stories from the book, which comes from author Jack Canfield. He set a goal for himself that, at the time, seemed pretty much impossible. He wanted to earn $100,000 in a single year.
And this story just lays out the whole process perfectly. First, he asked for the money. Then, he believed. He started acting like he already had it. And then came the receive step, which is so key. It didn't just show up as a check in the mail. No, it came as an inspired idea that just popped into his head. The book says this is how the universe often works. It delivers these sudden insights or urges, and then it's up to you to act on them to get what you asked for.
So, you might be wondering, how do you stay in that state of believing all the time? That sounds kind of tough, right? Well, the book gives you two main practical tools to help you tune your personal frequency to match what you want: gratitude and visualization.
The whole idea behind gratitude is actually pretty simple. By being genuinely thankful for what you already have, you send out this powerful signal of abundance and positivity. That feeling of having enough then attracts even more things to be grateful for. It's all about shifting your focus from what you lack to what you have.
The book shares this great little story from a guy named Lee Brower. He just carried a plain old rock around in his pocket, and every single time he touched it, he made himself think of something he was grateful for. This super simple habit, this gratitude rock, not only changed his whole perspective, but ended up inspiring a movement that raised a bunch of money for charity. Pretty cool.
Okay, the second big tool is visualization. The book uses this quote, which it attributes to Einstein, to frame imagination not as just simple daydreaming, but as a literal preview of your future. The idea is that by seeing it clearly in your mind, you're creating the actual blueprint for it to come into being.
And to back this up, they point to this study done with Olympic athletes. Get this. When they were hooked up to biofeedback machines and asked to just visualize their event with intense focus, their muscles fired in the exact same sequence as if they were actually competing. The takeaway is, if you can make your vision feel totally real to your mind and body, the universe has to respond as if it is real. So when you put it all together, the law, the three-step process, the tools, it all builds up to one final, massive, and honestly pretty profound conclusion about who you are and what your place in the universe is.
And this is really the ultimate takeaway from The Secret. It's not that you're just some pawn in a giant cosmic game. No, it's that you are the creator. Your thoughts don't just shape your own little life. They actually contribute to the creation of the entire universe. The message here is one of absolutely unlimited power and potential.
So in the end, the book leaves you with this one huge, provocative question. If you buy into the premise that you have this all-powerful genie who can only say, "Your wish is my command," then that forces you to ask yourself the most important question of all: what are you going to ask for?